with moving water and waves, it's essential to watch it for a while before you actually do it. Work out what's happening there and then put it down on paper. It's really exciting. I'm just going to try and get some of the movement of the sea here. It's an absolutely stunning situation with the waves crashing in here at Westdale Bay. Putting some cobalt blue on very quickly. So I need some burnt umber and French ultramarine for these really dark areas. So I need some dark colour behind the wave. The foam coming in and its perspective on this foam is critical. As it comes down like this, it sort of flattens out at the bottom. Just using the brush to soften it off in places. Making it just a bit stronger to come forward of this background. This is the finished version of the watercolour sketch of Westdale Bay. All I've done in the studio is added a bit of cobalt blue into the sky to sharpen up the clouds. That's something you can do quite easily with a painting where the sky hasn't quite sort of worked for you. I could have added more gulls and other bits and pieces in, but I haven't done that. It's only a sketch, and I was really most interested in capturing the sense of the movement of the sea and the waves. This is a tremendous view of Tower Point. I do a watercolour here. It's so dramatic and the light is incredible. So I'm trying to relate everything to what's already on my sketch, and that is the window is creating the basis for all the other aspects. A lot of white foam and surf coming in here at this point. This makes it really interesting. Great contrast between the wet, dark rocks and the white sea. To increase the dramatic content of this, I'm going to change the sky completely. This is dirty Naples yellow, and I'm doing it with vertical strokes of the brush to increase the verticality of the scene. And this is French ultramarine with some alizarin crimson in it. And then with just water on the brush, I'm going to lose this end bit here where the cliffs are going to be coming down, and soften this off in the distance. The other side where Skomer Island is appearing. This is Skomer Island over here. And what I've got to remember, of course, is that there is a window here, which I've been talking about rather a lot, but quite likely to forget if I'm not careful. This is light red. Dropping these colours in whilst it's still all nice and wet. So this tower here is separate from this one. So this is further into the distance, but the tones on this one are almost exactly the same, just as dark as they are on this one. But here I'm going to use a bit of artistic license and make this one a little bit lighter in tone, so that it pushes it a little bit further away. I'm now putting a touch of phthalo blue in here, whilst it's all still wet. There's no phthalo blue there, but this pushes it back and creates a little bit of an effect there. I've lost one or two of the light bits here, and I'll pull them out later. Thing I like to do is I have a 1/4 inch flat brush here, and I'm just going to pull out a little bit of light that I missed out. This is even more clearly defined now than when I started. It's very difficult to predict which way the light will go as the sun moves around sometimes. And this is an incredibly complicated structure of rock. I'm doing this with French ultramarine and cadmium red, so just testing it on the side there, and I just want it to come down vertically like this. And then just a damp brush, a wet brush, just to add a little bit more interest in the sky. That's a much sharper point. And I'm just going to pull out one or two highlights. So that's about it. I love harbours at low tide. They're much more exciting than at high tide. You get all these lovely, muddy sort of rivulets coming down. You've got all these chains leading you into the picture, ropes coming down off the boats, and all these buoys. It's very, very exciting and colourful. In this particular scene, I'm not really so interested in the boat itself as the little rivulets and the way the mud wriggles around in the under the boat with those beautiful contrasts, and the way the rope comes down, gets lost, and then suddenly it comes up again as a chain and comes towards me. You can use all this sort of thing as a lead into a boat, so look out for these things because they're very exciting. This is a rather nice boat to show you the ways of sketching it. It's got some lovely curvy lines, so I'll just do a quick sketch of this. This lovely design, beautiful shape, but these clinker shapes are not easy to render because they vary so much. But in this instance, with the sun casting a shadow on this side, we're losing some of the lines of the clinker. So in fact that is helping us, because we don't need to put them all in, we can just suggest them. Well, we're back in the studio now. I've shown you how I work out of doors sketching. Sketching is so vital to capture the movement of the sea and the spontaneity of the moment. And you'll also have seen how I've tackled Tower Point as a painting. I took the opportunity on such a glorious day to do a full alfresco painting, which is a little bit different from the quick watercolour sketch that I did of Westdale Bay. So now what I'm going to do is a watercolour demonstration of Tenby Harbour, and then we'll look at a few other paintings. The demonstration I'm going to do this morning is of Tenby Harbour, and the scene is here with the boats all jumbled up. I don't like the way we can see through here. There's too much going on there, and so I'm going to simplify it quite a bit. The original sketch was of this, but I've created a studio sketch here, simplifying it, getting rid of some of the odd bits of boats here and there, getting rid of the new lifeboat station that's just creeping in there. I've added in a new boat here, in a dinghy, which I found at Fishguard, and I'm going to put a fisherman in there as well, so that gives a little bit of life. So that's the scene. So that little mast goes up amazingly high on some of these vessels. Maybe a couple of figures there, and it's always nice to have some flagpoles or what have you. So I'm using a squirrel hair mop, nice large brush for the sky, and some Naples yellow. It's a lovely colour. It's a opaque colour, but it's rather a pleasant colour because it gives a lovely glow. And then the mixture of French ultramarine and cadmium red. And into this I'm just going to drop some Aussie red gold. The colours I'm using at the moment are the Daniel Smith extra fine watercolours, and Aussie red gold is a lovely colour for giving or painting a bit of zip and brightness. Rustic colour into the roof, vary it a little bit, give it a bit of excitement. And this end I'm just going to strengthen a little bit more. So French ultramarine and a touch of burnt umber for the shadow side of this boat, and the stern. The light is coming from the right, of course. So that's the finished picture. I've simplified the harbour quite a lot, but then I would do that anyway because there's just so much boat detritus and other stuff in the picture that you do need to simplify it quite a bit.